Hello, Charlie and the Chop Dick Factory. Good golly, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. It is Tuesday, Toofer Tuesday of S-H-T-Fer day. It is messed up out there, folks, and I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant. So pardon me. Children, put your fingers in your ears. We're going to get loud. The day after Ukraine finally announces that they're going to seek peace, which I talked about this morning. Lo and behold, Russia bombs Poland with missiles and 2 people died. Really? That's what happened? That's how this works? I guess the Russians are such incompetent boobs that they just light off their own missiles like a Iraqi Scud missile on a warm Arab spring evening. I mean, give me a fucking break. You would think that Russia would be like, everyone, get your fingers away from the buttons, right? We're going to have some peace. Unbelievable that they want us to buy this bullshit now. Unfreaking believable. You know what I think? And I'm just a cynic, right? I'm a smartastic, cynical satirist. I wonder, because we know the World Economic Forum has fought amongst themselves. You have the Henry Kissinger extra old fossil group versus the Klaus Schwab younger fossil group vying for control of, well, the oligarchical assholicos, right? Henry Kissinger a couple of months ago said, well, they think that they need to have some peace and not to make complete, total enemies of Russia. You know, that's my best Kissinger. And the rest of them are like, no, we can beat the Russians by using our proxy army, the Ukrainian Nazis. So, hey, get that crypto nerd over there to start funneling some money into our accounts, and we'll make this happen. I'll tell you also, folks, I'm a fucking cynic about this. Give me a fucking break. It sounds to me like one of the CIA rogue groups out there is like been smoking too much of their own hashish and buying too much of their own bullshit that they're like, yeah, well, we'll make this war continue. We're in it to win it because we're the CIA and we don't listen to the president anyway, folks. They didn't listen to the president way back in 1962. Remember that? Was it 62 or 63? Bay of Pigs, missile crisis, all that shit going down in Cuba. The CIA goes in with it's called the Bay of Pigs, with their Cuban exiles and invades Cuba with a miniature military. Cuba is an island, folks, but it's as big as fucking New Jersey, I think. It's not a small thing. It's not like Maui where you can walk around it in a day. I mean, come on. I mean, and Maui's bigger. It's way bigger than that, folks. I know. But you could probably walk from Lahaina to Kihei in a day. Yeah, you could do that. And those are like the 2 fun cities on Maui. Anyways, the point is these people, they expect us to buy this shit. Ukraine's like, well, you know, the money laundering thing. Hey, money laundering thing is kind of up in the air, so we're done. And the CIA is like, oh, no. We're going to keep this going. Give me a fucking break. I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you another reason it's time to declare peace. Not only has their money laundering scheme gotten a little too much frickin' sunlight, on top of that, if you recall a few weeks ago, the U.S. was like, we went and checked our stockpile of missiles and shit, and we've given it all away either to the Taliban or to the Nazis in Ukraine. So we're kind of out of missiles and shit. Let's replace it with that new stuff. And then the Pentagon goes to Congress for appropriations money, and they go, we need, a couple $100 billion to buy those new missiles from the military industrial complex. And Congress is like, I bet we could get some big campaign contributions for passing this funding of special replacements, because Ukraine just kept lighting that shit off. How much you want to bet there was never mind. Wow! Unbelievable, folks. They want us to buy this shit. Folks, Arizona, Arizona is a state full of Nintendo deniers. Or is it Nintendo deniers unite? The Patriots in Arizona call for a new midterm game of Nintendo in December. They're not buying it. The cat's out of the bag. Camel's nose is in the tent. Shit's out of the horse. They know what's going on. They've seen too much. They know too much. Good. I hope Arizonans make a giant, huge stink and do not certify the Nintendo game that happened last Tuesday. 1 week ago, folks, they did it again. 1 week ago, they played Nintendo. 1 week ago, the computers all sucked. And ever since then, folks, the creepy, crawly Democrat team has been clawing its way. Unfreaking believable. They only need just enough to maintain absolute and total authoritarian control. Right? Now, this is important right here. Texas Governor Abbott. The election's over. He won. Beto O'Rourke. I think he's now going to go to work for, I think, a salsa company or something. It's going to be a Beto O'Choke. Anyways, no more bullshit. No more election bullshit. No more political bullshit. The time to act is now. So Governor Abbott declares an invasion is occurring at the border. He has invoked United States government and Texas constitutions and is deploying, that's right, guard troops to repel these forces. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Is it real? Is it serious? Are they really going to go? Are they going to use guns to repel them? Are they going to have big nets? Are they going to turn loose T-Rex and velociraptors on the border? I don't know what's coming, but I tell you what, I hope it's big and ugly, because the invasion, 250,000 Mexicans, Central Americans, South Americans, Africans, and whoever the hell else George Soros can stuff on a boat and ship up to Mexico and then run them through. 250,000 people a month, folks. That is a football super stadium full of people to the brim every week, just being whoosh, gates open, like the pearly gates, just wide open, welcoming them to America. Here's your money. Here's your welfare. Here's some more money. Here's a bus ticket. Here's a plane ticket. Here's a house. Welcome to America. Just too damn incredible for me. All right. Just checking on things, checking out the prepared bunker. Make sure everything's solid. Nice and solid. Good. All right, moving on. Oh, by the way, even though I could go for the whole fucking hour ranting and raving and screaming and yelling and everything else, it is Tuesday, and that means you can get your questions into Jolene pow down below. And there's some good ones out there, folks, like this. Let me attack this fucking topic, if you will. Klaus Schwab, Davos douche extraordinaire, leader of the World Economic Forum and oligarchs, says, quote, the world will look differently after we have gone through this transition. So what are they going to do? Cut the balls off the world? Are they going to de-breasticize Europe? Are they going to give puberty blockers to our political people? What transition? Oh, he's talking about the Great Reset, folks. He's talking to the world leaders at the G20. Klaus Schwab gets to address the G20. Why can't I address the G20? These people. No shit, Sherlock. The world is going to look differently if they get their way. And folks, once again, I'm going to tell you, they won't get their way. They will cause chaos, destruction, death, loss, sickness, starvation. They're going to cause that, but they aren't going to win. But we will look differently, right? Yeah, bugs for dinner? No thanks, man. No property ownership or rights. Oh, really, Klaus? Slaves to the oligarch class? You think so? You guys over in Davos really think so? No rights, just privileges. Oh, thank you so much. Having a social credit score determine what few comforts life has to offer. I reject your notion, you pile of shit. Folks, I can't wait for the day when one of these bastards appears on the streets with maybe, I don't know, a fucking army of robots with guns. Because that's what it's going to take for them to come after America. An army of robots with guns to tell us we're the World Economic Forum and we now control you. Go fuck yourselves. I'm telling you, folks. Fuck you, Klaus, you assholio. It's getting off the hook with these people. He's been exposed and they don't give a shit. They own the politicians of the world and they think they're going to win. A couple of little people up in Washington, D.C. or around some state capitals is not a country. Are you telling me that Nancy Pants, that Chuck Schumer, that Lighten the Loafers Lindsey Graham or Turtles McConnell, you think they can control me and you and all of us from their high chairs, literally their high chairs, where someone has to feed them their fucking applesauce because they're too stupid to put it in their own mouths? Well, I guess this is what they could do. They could turn the CIA loose on us. Well, here's one guy, folks, found dead. And he said, hey, days earlier, just a few days ago, he said the pedo elite would kill him. That's right, pedo Hitler, the pedo elite would kill him. 29-year-old crypto pioneer, Nikolai Mushigin. That's a heck of a name. Anyways, I don't know what he pioneered in cryptos, but he's one of these young guys out there who kind of came up with this stuff. He was found dead, folks. He warned that the CIA and the Mossad pedo elite were going to kill him. He posted this on Twitter, folks, October 28th, and he's dead now. Do you believe in coincidences? What are the odds? Why would he make that prognostication? Well, let me read to you his prognostication, his prediction, his warning, right? I guess he got some kind of information and he realized his ass was going to be handed to him, right? He says, CIA, and this is his tweet, and it's still posted. And I think the name of his channel was at delete _ shitcoin. Anyway, CIA, Mossad, and pedo elite are running some kind of sex trafficking, entrapment, blackmail ring out of Puerto Rico and Caribbean islands. They're going to frame me with a laptop planted by my ex-girlfriend who was a spy. They will torture me to death. Wow, that is a lot to handle. The guy is now dead. CIA, Mossad, and pedo elite are running some kind of sex trafficking, entrapment, blackmail ring out of Puerto Rico and the Caribbean islands. That sounds familiar, Epstein. That sounds familiar, Jizzy Maxwell. That sounds familiar, Bill Clinton. That sounds familiar, Hillary. That sounds familiar, Weiner, Anthony Weiner. That sounds familiar, doesn't it, Chris Wray? That sounds familiar, doesn't it? John Brennan of the CIA. Sounds familiar? Well, there's more, folks. There's more. His body was found after he died in Puerto Rico. Right. He actually was a developer of the Maker DAO, the largest decentralized finance protocol. And he contributed to other crypto projects. I'm sure he was very rich. Very rich. According to the article, he was dragged by water currents close to the Condado Beach. He had a swimming accident. He must have taken too much chain with him when he went swimming, huh? Unbelievable, folks. Right? Here we have it. Got some kind of an issue here. It says this triggered them, so overnight they sent someone to disable electric locks on his house. First, they tried to be subtle and drill a little hole, and when that didn't work, they just ripped out the whole conduit. Not CIA, just the cheapest goons money can buy. Show some respect, please. Come on. This guy was going after him. He says, before I thought it was the Illuminati CIA people doing sophisticated moves to set me up somehow because I was a threat to central banking cartel. Now I realize these are probably the cheapest PIs money can buy, sent by local banking duopoly. Even round one shills in chat were far smarter. I don't know, folks. So was it a local hit job, or was it the CIA? Or was it the CIA trying to look like they were a bunch of local idiots? Any way you slice it, somebody came up against the system. They were semi-powerful, semi-important. Woo! Very interesting, eh? What do you guys think of that? Right? Now, we had, and I'm going to jump back over to this floating turd. We had Ukraine over the weekend go, well, yeah, we're going to do some of that peace stuff. You know, we're never going to surrender. Screw Putin and Russia. They invaded and stole our country. I'm never giving up on those eastern provinces of Ukraine. We do not accept that those are now part of the Russian Federation. The people of Ukraine are not allowed to vote and determine their own lives. Oh, shit, that sounds like Hitler. Yeah. We had that. And then we had this. Remember, folks, as I discussed in today's Zero Dark 30, the war in Ukraine is going to be brought to a close. And then there was a bombing in Turkey over the weekend. Whoops. And then there was missiles into Poland. Whoops. Right? The war in Ukraine is being brought to a close with the World Economic Forum signaling to its U.S. DC government, European Union, NATO, and Ukraine puppets, hey, we're done. But are they really done? Ukraine is going to admit general defeat. They're going to hide the money laundering operation. And then what, huh? In order to keep the distractions going, to keep us confused and not focusing on the money, how convenient is it, folks, that a terror attack occurred in Turkey and then one in Poland? But it happened at the same time the decision to end the war with Russia was made. Coincidence? No chance. Convenient? Damn right it's convenient. So here we are, folks. Another pissing match started. What, are we going to have another type of conflict develop in the far European theater? Could this be Turkey's chance to leave NATO and side with Russia and leave the European Union, United States, NATO alliance? Little chin scratching. What do you think is going to happen next? Are you prepared for what's going to happen over there as well as for what's going to happen at home? Right? I thought that was a pretty good thing to talk about. I've been talking for months about why is Turkey working with Russia so closely? Right? Turkey seems to really give a shit. Or do they? They want to get the food out, or are they making buddies with both sides? Turkey said, they said some nasty shit about the bomber. Right? They did. Right? Interior Minister Süleyman Soylu of Turkey said in a statement about the explosion in Istanbul, quote, "We do not accept the condolence message of the U.S. Embassy. If we had not caught the attacker," that would be the bomber, "he would have fled to Greece today." Continuing, Interior Minister Süleyman said, quote, "Operations continue. All of our security forces, and all intelligence units are all on alert together. We said that we were going to say last night, we know how the incident was coordinated. We know how it was coordinated." You said that twice, huh? "We will bury our bodies. We have just sent our Ekran to Adana and sent his father." I don't know what the hell that means. "It must be said, we know the message that was given to us. We received the message that was given to us, and we know what the message was given to us. We will send a very strong message to this message." Was something lost in translation? Either way, that sounds pretty fucking ominous, right? If one bomber can cause all this trouble, then what could one country like Turkey do? Turkey, there are a bunch of turkeys so close to Thanksgiving. Yuck, 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 yuck. Whoop, 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 whoop. Right? What the hell is going on? You're going to mess with Turkey? Well, wait a minute. Who's Turkey? Turkey's the second largest military in NATO behind the United States. That means the rest of Europe could get their asses handed to them by the Turks, by Süleyman. Folks, if you know who Süleyman is from 500 years ago, you might start thinking about some shit. Right? I'm not a big fan of Turkey, by the way. I love turkey for Thanksgiving. I'm not a big lover of the nation of Turkey. I think that they've always had it out for Europe. They've always felt slighted by Europe, which is probably true. I think that they've always been treated poorly. Turkey is the crossroads, though, folks, between Europe, Eurasia, Africa, and the Middle East. It's a gateway for gold, drugs, slaves, and corruption. Very crazy business. Let me read this, the important part of this again. The message was the bombing. Okay? The message was the bombing. So it must be said, we know the message that was given to us. The bomb was given to them, right? We received the message, the bomb. We got you. We got you loud and clear. And we know what the message was. We will send a very strong message to this message. In other words, if a bomb is a message and they're going to send a message to the message, is he saying they're going to send a bomb in response to the bomb? Stand by, folks. Stand by. Like, these people are basically fucking screwy. Crazy. Pretty crazy. I hope you are ready. I hope you've got your questions in. There's a lot to talk about here, folks. Oh, by the way, just in time for the Christmas season, FedEx is going to begin laying off, shit canning, and firing drivers next month. Thanks, FedEx. What a Christmas present from you. And Amazon, and Twitter, and Facebook, and Meta, and all those other companies out there who are now cutting the line on all their left-wing lunatic losers who are non-productive, which I think is crazy and funny all at the same time. Yet, FedEx hires real people to drive packages. UPS, right? You would think that there would be a lot of ordering going on, because of bug. People not wanting to go out and go shopping. I don't know about up north. Down south, there's not many mask holes, but I see them, and I just look at them like, you're a sorry son of a bitch. And I give them the look like, what are you fucking doing? Anyways, I don't know what it looks like if you're in California or Illinois or New York or big cities where the people run around with masks. I mean, I still see the occasional jackass driving around with a mask on their face, windows rolled up in their car, alone. They just love the security blanket of the face diaper. Remember when we were calling it that? Because that's what it is. You breathe and put all that moisture into cloth with all of those germs that you've exhaled and inhaled and exhaled and inhaled and exhaled and inhaled. And yeah, fucking beautiful. Oh, I want you to do one more thing for me. I want you to take a wild freaking guess. Sponsored by the Jim Jones Juice. This is completely normal. Or is it? It's a coincidence or it's not. Down in Brazil, guess what? A TV personality, a news presenter, collapsed. Bam. And down in Argentina, another TV presenter, news person, collapsed during live broadcast, folks. Coincidence? Completely normal? Or are these left-wing dipshits in the media down there, down under, are they just as stupid as the media dipshits in the northern hemisphere? Bunch of egg-sucking, oh yeah, I said it, egg-sucking, that's how bad they are. Virtue signaling ninnies, right? What they wanted, folks, this is what they desperately wanted. They desperately wanted to take the Jim Jones juice. They wanted to take it and then have you and me and all of us who didn't get sick, go to the hospital, beg that they save us because cerveza bug is so bad. It's that bad. Were you right or were they right? Who is collapsing and dying and having enlarged heart, myocarditis, pericarditis, pulmonary issues, strokes, embolisms, and your fucking isms, seizures, epileptic crunches, fucking paralysis, facial paralysis, neurological disorders, ruined immune system. Would that be the people who did not take the Jim Jones juice, or would that be people who took the Jim Jones juice? Take a wild fucking guess, right? Unbelievable, folks. Unbelievable. You know, for the few in media who are still trying to be journalists, well, we've got, what, Tucker Carlson, who, yeah, he is not beloved by the left. No, he's not. Well, NBC had a correspondent. His name was Miguel Almaguer. Well, Miguel, your brownness did not save you, brother. That's right. Being a person of color, a POC. That's too close to being a POS. I would not want to be a POC because I wouldn't want someone to accidentally say person of shit, piece of shit, POS. Anyways, Miguel is now suspended. He may as well accept the fact that he's fired. Miguel Almaguer did a news piece, and it went on, folks, on to the big satellite in the sky, and then rained down his story. His story, folks, was about Paul Pelosi and David DePape. Yes, that story. And it got him shit-canned. Well, suspended, if you will. What did he say? Well, he tried reporting that, Paul Pelosi answered the door, and then he walked back into the room with the supposed attacking dude, and he questioned the official story. He had other information he wanted to share. He had an opinion. He had some news, and he got punished for it. Folks, it doesn't matter if you're black, if you're a Republican, you're a white supremacist. It doesn't matter, right? If you're Hispanic and brown, you are a terrorist if you go to a school meeting and try and protect your children. It doesn't matter what shade of skin you have. A lot of melanin or hardly any at all. They don't give a shit. That is only a political game they play. It's a way to make people feel guilty. Right? Why should you feel guilty? Well, they want you to feel guilty. And a lot of people do. These liberal white retards out there, they're the ones who feel guilty. And so they try transferring that onto you by accusing you of being a racist. Well, I don't have control over NBC, but NBC has control over NBC. And I bet they have a ESG, lunatic inclusive board. And they got rid of a person of color. Shame on you, NBC. Shame on you. These fucking people. All right. By the way, get your questions in. Get your questions in down below. I want to know what you guys are thinking about today. I've gone as quickly as I can, as fast as I can, because I wanted to get through to you and get to your questions. But before we get there, I just want to hear this just one more time. Just one more time.
With COVID, I mean, the things that we thought we knew in the beginning turned out as the months went by to not be the case, which really forced us to adapt and to change some of our policies and recommendations. That was interpreted by many as flip-flopping or not really knowing what's going on, when it really was the evolution of the science.
Fuck you, Dr. Fauci.
Love it.
Are you ready?
Alrighty, everyone. This is your chance. It is now the time for the Q&A, question and answer. It is a huge day, folks. From war in Europe and peace in Europe, bombings, missile attacks, oil, energy, economies crashing. And that's just Europe. We got the same thing over here, except we don't have bombs and missiles, right? No, we don't have that. All right, what do you want to talk about? It is now your turn on the Prepared Mind channel. And we have Charlanator stepping right up. She says, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to have to read this. My best friend wears 2 masks when she's out, but she has idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis and the common cold can put her out for a month. She would take precautions before the vid hit, before cerveza bug. Okay, now she wears 2 masks when she's out, but she has idiopathic. Just sounds like a word that makes you sound like an idiot. But pulmonary fibrosis and the common cold can put her out for a month. Now, I appreciate, Charlanator, your friend wanting to minimize all contact with other humans. But if you have a chain link fence and a mosquito is trying to fly through it, whether you have 1 layer of chain link fence or 2 is not going to stop them. I mean, I understand the concern. Common cold can put her out for a month. I get it. I don't think that there are tens of thousands of people in America who have idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. I think that we have tens of thousands of Americans and millions of Americans who wear masks every day not because of idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, but because they're just straight up fucking idiots. One of the best things you can do to prevent getting the common cold is to listen to Dr. Fauci. No, I'm not going to do it, folks. I can't do it. No more Dr. Fauci. I think that vitamin C and zinc and vitamin D are supposed to support a healthy immune system. I think washing your hands is a great way to support a healthy immune system. Not sticking your hands all over your face is probably a good way to do it. But I get it. Common cold can take you out. Basically, you get to go live in a bubble, right? But yeah, just remember, there was that lady. She was scared to death, Charlanator, of cerveza bug. Scared to death. She locked herself in her house, locked herself in the bathroom, lived in her bathroom with the exception of going out and getting food that was delivered to her door. And she got COVID, cerveza bug, and got sick. She's wearing a mask in her house, won't go outside, lives in the bathroom. Why do you think she got sick? Could it be she was sucking toilet air? Every time she went to the bathroom, she flushed it, and all those aerosolized pieces of poop went up and made her sick? And isn't poop supposed to be one of the most, that's where cerveza bug is shed, is in the poop. And when the poop gets in the sewer, and then they test the sewers, they can see where the COVID's at. Oh my God! Right? Talk about shit hitting the fan. Anyways, meanwhile, back at Dr. Evil's headquarters, they plot more pointless attacks, right? Idiot ecological cult members, the normal deniers, the sea level deniers, right? They attacked a painting in Austria at a museum. It was a Klimt painting. And I'm not a big fan of Klimt myself. By attacking paintings, what are these fucking people? What do they think they're doing? What do they think they're affecting? Do you think they're persuading me to change my mind? The paintings now have bulletproof fucking glass in front of them. Literally, I think bulletproof glass at this point. It's going to stop more than some paint, right? Anyways, they're plotting more and more pointless freaking attacks. More on that later. And yes, I meant to say more on that later. Folks, it is now time to let you know that on sale now, the Harvest Right freeze drying system. We have them on sale, $500 off. And you're like, holy shit, $500 off. How expensive are those things? They're pretty expensive. But if you want to make your own organic, make your own freeze-dried food, and I can tell you there's a big difference. I've gotten the inexpensive, well, they're still pretty expensive, but the less than premium freeze-dried strawberries in a can. And then I had some strawberries that were bought at a store, put in a Harvest Right that's right, a Harvest Right freeze dryer. I have done it. I have seen it happen. It works. Only these strawberries that were done in the Harvest Right freeze dryer had a lot of sugar in them. Very sweet. Unlike the brand X that I bought off of the internet, wanting to see, how sweet, how good, how enjoyable freeze-dried berries were. Now, I'll tell you what, the berries that come and the fruits that come through Thrive Foods, which we also have a link to, very good. Very, very good. In fact, I used to do Armageddon in the kitchen. I'd cook foods and eat the Thrive food. That was really good, by the way. I enjoyed doing that, Jolene. Both the videos and eating the food. Thrive food is good, but if you can do your own with the Harvest Right, it is incredible. The Thrive foods, very delicious. The cheap stuff, I've tried them, folks. I've had people tell me Mountain House is the best. Blah! I'm not a fan of it. I know a lot of people love it, but blah! I can't stand it. Anyways, that link right there, kabam! If you have the wherewithal and the desire to put your own food into a freeze dryer, whether it's meat or vegetables or fruits or orangutans and fruit bats and breakfast cereals. Anyways, it is just absolutely delicious. It pulls the moisture out and leaves everything else behind, like nutrients, flavor, texture, fiber, you bet. And again, I've now seen it, folks, for myself. Harvest Right, freeze-dried. It's not a long time ago, in fact, and I don't talk about it enough. I don't sell the wares enough. I don't pimp out the preparedmind.club enough. I've had people tell me, you're like a TV evangelist, John, talking about all your prepper stuff. Excuse me, cock knockers. That's exactly what this channel is about, is shit hitting the fan and getting prepared. What the fuck should I be talking about on a channel that talks about all the stupid shit going on? You dumb fucking nitwit. Anyways, back to the show. Jolene has managed to get this $500 off link through the Prepared Mind channel. And, you're welcome, Uman. He's always there in the background with his big, mighty blue wrench, wanting to conk the fuckheads on the head. And he gave me the lowdown the other night of what happened with some jackass from Britain, trying to push his fucking mentality. We got a lot of that going on here, folks. There's a lot of people that have just now seemed to realize that something not quite right is going on. It's like, welcome to the party, pal. That famous line from Die Hard. Welcome to the party. Now shut the fuck up. Have a seat. Participate in the question section, but don't pretend like you know everything in the room. Folks, I learn shit every day still. I just happen to be the guy that has the channel that's been around for almost 10 fucking years. So you would think that me and you would know something, and that new guy in the room who's all shocked and surprised, right? He's just trolling himself. Whew. All righty then. Jolene, I think I've done enough damage on this popsicle stand. What do we got next? Get your questions down below. And there is Uman. And he wants to talk about Voldemort Zelensky. the skinny jeans wearing, light in the loafers goofball who was put into power by the CIA during a coup d'etat back in 2014, who pretends to be some sort of leader. Anyways, he says, feels kind of like Zelensky is pulling a Kim Jong-un, firing missiles because he's not getting enough attention lately. That's right. That is interesting, man. You gotta laugh. These fucking people are flirting with World War III, flirting with nuclear weapons. And they're like, I'm not getting enough attention. It could be. And I don't know how much of this really is Zelensky. Zelensky is a good little dipshit. Folks, he's done what millions would do. He was offered a chance to make a lot of money. He was offered a lot of power and control. He was a stooge, a puppet, who was thrust into the limelight and made and talked up and played up and given a lot of credibility by the press and the media. Wait a minute, am I talking about Adolf fucking Hitler? An also stooge who was in jail, who was some historians and some research believe was a closet LGBTQ type, but was foisted into the limelight to the front of the National Socialist Workers' Party. That's right, folks. The Nazis were socialists, fascist, socialist, Nazis, National Socialist Workers' Party. Adolf Hitler was thrust to the front, the top. He was made their spokesman. The mainstream media loved Hitler, folks. Oh, they did. He was Time's Man of the Year in 1939, well after he had been rounding up Jews, well after he was killing people, well after terror attacks occurred inside of Germany. Time's Man of the Year. Supported, folks, supported by British and American bankers, funded by British and American bankers, beloved by the powerful oligarchs of the 1920s and 30s. Adolf Hitler has a lot in common with Zelensky. Oh yeah, Hitler invaded Poland. Zelensky, I don't know if he launched missiles into Poland, but I might check the trajectory of those fucking missiles. Right? In order for Russia to send missiles into Poland, they've got to send them all the way over the top of Ukraine. Some good missiles, huh? Couldn't it be that the Ukrainian military training with the HIMARS missiles? Could they have been training in Western Ukraine on the Polish border and had some, shall we say, questionable low IQ moments and launch those missiles in the wrong fucking direction? Right. Remember, this is the same military intelligence community, the Ukrainian military, that found some gold teeth, found some handcuffs, found a dirty dildo, and said, this is evidence that the Russians have a new Auschwitz. Yes, they're killing people and taking their teeth. And they're torturing them and sexually abusing them with an old dirty dildo. That was Ukrainian smarts, folks. Unfucking believable. Yeah, and it is believable that they would make an error while training with American armament and launch some shit into Poland and then went, wasn't me, it was Putin. Putin did it. Yeah, Putin. It was Putin. You all saw it. Right? Right. And so, right, Zelensky's, he's at his desk. Bring. And he's like, hello, how are you? This is Zelensky. Ukraine for sale. Who is this? Oh, Prime Minister of Poland. Yeah. I heard about it. I did. I heard. Yeah, 2 missiles. Missiles. Yeah, it couldn't have been us. We're too poor to have missiles. Yeah, I know the Americans are giving us missiles. I got it. But we want. It shit happens. It wasn't us though. It was Putin. I was just talking to Pooty the other day, and I said, hey, I double dog dare you to shoot 2 missiles over the top of Ukraine and hit Poland. I dare you. You don't have balls big enough, Vlad. Yeah, Vlad. I'm Voldemort, but you're Vlad. You know who else was Vlad? Vlad the Impaler. Yeah, that's right. Dracula, you blood-sucking Russian, you. And so that's what I told him. And he got mad, and he launched the missiles over the top of Ukraine and into your country, Poland. Yeah, trust me on this. I wouldn't lie to you 10 times in a row, you dumbass. I'm Voldemort Zelensky. How dare you question me? Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. You have every right to question me. You've been sending your military and bombs and rockets and missiles and guns and bullets and stuff to us and helping us. And yes, you've also sent all those dirty once-used dildos out. We really appreciate them in the Zelensky administration. But yeah, it wasn't us. It was Pooty. Go ahead and give him a call. Call him on the red phone. Red for Russia, red for, they're bad. They're bad. Russia bad. Bang. Okay, folks. Another one of those Johnny on the spot phone call, satirical. I was telling Kaz and Uman today and Jolene and our syndicate. I was like, you know what? All of this SHTF is making me cynical, but it's also making me love freedom and America even more. I'm more determined than ever to be fully prepared, more determined than ever to stand up for my rights, and more determined than ever to not end up washing up on a beach like that cyber crypto punk down in Puerto Rico. Woo! What do you guys want to talk about? Mikey G says, will the Russian strike in Poland evoke Article 5 under the NATO rules? Article 5, folks, is, let me briefly throw this out there. It means you attack any of our people and we'll come after you. It's the protection clause. If any NATO country is attacked, then whoever did that gets to face the wrath of the entire NATO alliance. They could. Now, I do know, according to some military experts that I've talked to in the past, that they can determine by the angle of the bomb exactly where it came from. Like mortars, the lob and angle and this and that. But I don't know with a missile that is that long range, if you can tell exactly where it came from. Because missiles, they go up and then the long distance missiles, they fly sideways a long time until they finally turn down and hit their targets. So you can't really tell where they came from. And if they were Russian and they were hypersonic, they wouldn't be able to detect where they were from. Now, I want to ask a very important question at this point. One that I haven't addressed and neither of you. And yes, that they can evoke Article 5 if they can prove it. What level of proof do they have to have? They need Hillary Clinton to examine the evidence and then tell us it's okay. Bring, bring, bring. Hello, this is Hillary Clinton. No, that's not her voice. Let's see, Hillary Clinton's voice. Let me get that right. Hillary Clinton. A vast right-wing conspiracy. This is Hillary Clinton. Oh, you want to know if that was Russian missiles? You bet it was, because what difference does it make now? No, wait, that would exonerate Russia. Let's see. It's a vast Russian conspiracy, and we need to go and use Article 5 to attack Russia and get my money back from them. All right. Here's something that no one is talking about. Well, maybe Russia's asked the question. They've denied this absolutely, that that this is their missiles. Qui bono. It means who benefits. If it was Russia, we get to ask the question, how would Russia benefit from bombing Poland with 2 missiles that take out non-military targets? How does that benefit Russia? Now, if it was a Polish oligarch whose mega mansion was hit, and that same Polish oligarch had been telling the Polish prime minister and the Polish defense minister to attack Russia, and as a consequence of that demand, Polish armament was used to kill Russian people, Russian military, Russian targets, then I could see Putin sending one of his super missiles, kablam, and blow up the Russian or the Polish oligarch. I could see that. How does Russia benefit in this? Right, a missile, a bomb goes off. Everyone goes, was that Putin? Did Putin do that? What does he stand to gain? What does the Russian military stand to gain? Does Russia want to start a war with all of NATO? You know, Article 5? Seems kind of like bullshit to me to think that Russia would have something to gain from this. I mean, at this point, Russia can launch missiles all over the fucking place and then go, we got nothing to gain from this. We fooled the stupid Americans, right? I mean, really. You know, we can't get the fucking truth out of government officials in Washington, from the FBI to the CIA, right? I mean, get this. Christopher Wray was grilled. He was questioned over the January 6th agents provocateur. That is, people who were hired by the FBI to dress like Trump supporters. And guess what? Christopher Wray refused to answer. We're supposed to worry about Putin, Russia, the Kremlin, way the hell over there. Well, here we have in our own country people who should be accountable to not only Washington representatives or the people's representatives in Washington. Hey, thanks, Ronan. Christopher Wray, the FBI, needs to be answerable to the Congress, the president, the media, and the people. He shouldn't be able to say, I ain't saying shit. I can't tell you nothing. That's an ongoing investigation that's been going on since 1777. I don't got to say shit about that. Unbelievable. There we go. Ronan sent me something here. He's taken a back secret entrance approach to talking to me. All right, here we go, Ronan. He says, I'm sure you're already aware. Take care out there. According to Polish media, 2 stray Russian rockets landed in Polish territory, killing 2 people. What were we just talking about? He must be on a time delay. All right, man. All right. Now, if you guys knew who he was and who he works for, he's going to like this answer. Anyways, Ronan, you're the man. A lot of people, folks, a lot of good contacts all over the country, from the north to the south, the east, the west, over in Belfast, Ireland, jolly old England, the Netherlands, all over the place. In fact, years ago, somebody came on and used rubles to do a super chat donation. Back when I guess Russia was allowed to get on YouTube. Anyways, folks, yeah, Christopher Wray, he doesn't have to say shit. Why are we worried about Putin when we've got rogue elements of our own government refusing to accept responsibility for the bullshit they pull here? Just a little question. Just a little question. Just a small one. All right, what else have we got going on with you guys? We got Dennis Chandler. And he says, just how big of a false flag do you think we are going to get since the information of the money laundering deal with FTX? FTX, laundering money and then sending money to political action committees, the Democrats, Democrat candidates, and I believe, if I read this correctly, Even Turtles Mitch McConnell of the Rhino Republican persuasion got a big fat chunk of cash through the FTX money laundering. Folks, this makes Watergate look like jack shit. A couple of guys breaking into an election campaign office, big fucking deal. But Nixon resigned over that. We have evidence of massive international money laundering for political influence and payoff scheme, on top of massive Nintendo fraud, on top of massive Nintendo machine fraud, because the company allows their Nintendo machines to be hacked, to be USB attacked, to be online. So, just how big of a false flag, Dennis? Let me tell you exactly how big the false flag has to be. Big enough to make everyone quit looking at FTX. You, me, and everybody prep to action. You better be prepared, because who knows what they're fucking capable and willing. Well, I went over this morning. What are they willing to do? They're willing to screw everyone out of billions of dollars. They're willing to lie, cheat, and steal, and use the media to do it. They're willing to kill people in the thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands, just like in Ukraine. They're willing to put those people to their death in order to pretend that they need to fight against Russia, in order to make the world believe we need a war with Russia. Funding goes to Ukraine so that cash on the barrelhead is laundered and redistributed back to those who made it all happen. That's how huge this is, folks. Foreign money, illegally laundered, that is fraudulent money, has been funneled into American politics, and they've been caught. They've been caught. FTX, that almost sounds like a foul word, man. We got fucking. Someone will come up with a cool way to say that. Fittix, futtix, fucks it. That's almost a fucks it. FXT, fucks it. We got fuxited. Oh my God. Thank you, Dennis, for bringing that up. Now my headache is really fucking big. Okay. Jolene, I got some question marks over there on Signal. Unbelievable. Carrie Lake, gubernatorial candidate, gets beaten by a complete moronic, lying, racist POS basement hider. And she said this, quote, Arizonans know BS when they see it. Carrie Lake talking about Nintendo. We all know it. And Arizona may not certify any of this. I sure hope the people of Arizona are supported by us, and that we send emails, texts, phone calls, messaging, instant messaging, Facebook, signing petitions, smoke signals, carrier pigeons, whatever it takes. The fight needs to start. It's a political fight, YouTube. Don't you worry. I don't recommend violence or incite violence or glorify or glamorize violence. Unlike Vice President Camel. You guys forgot all about Kamala Harris? Camel toes? Knee pads Harris? Right? Promoting violence, inciting violence, glamorizing violence. You protesters who have burned, loot, and murdered, you need to get back out there and don't stop. Sounds to me like she's done something wrong. All right. Jolene, we got one more. I know we're at 1 hour, but we got one more question. It's Eli in the Wolverine State. And he said a local school district got hit by ransomware. Third of no school. Everything in the school is hooks together, doors, and HVAC even. Uh-oh. Third day of no school. Gotcha. Third day. They think they got access through HVAC software. Skynet only needs to shut down the internet and would win. Okay, folks. I don't know if you're aware of this, but there are massive internet hubs. Basically, if you see buildings with a lot of air conditioners on top of them, they're somewhere between 5 and 10 stories tall. No windows, maybe some slits for windows. They look kind of like prison buildings, but they're owned by, I don't know, Frontier, Spectrum, AT&T, Comcast, these big internet hubs. I think if someone went to that place and threw a fucking breaker, they would probably cause some shit to happen. But yeah, HVAC software, that sounds like an interesting way and a very convoluted way to get in. But I have for years said, why is it nuclear power plants are hooked to the internet? Is that really necessary? Shouldn't they be intranet only, off the grid? Still, you can get a software update for your HVAC system and it could have a virus in it. There's any number of ways that bad shit can happen, folks. There's only one way that you have a chance to get through all of this bullshit and the potential Mad Max coming, and that is to be fully prepared. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and a plan. There's you. There's 10 miles around you. When shit goes south, that's the area you need to worry about. Until that happens, you need to be right here on the Prepared Mind Network, thersyndicate.com, and keep informed about what's going on and share that internet address up there. Share that internet address. Now, of course, the preparedmind.club, you spend $2 a month and you get premium access and Q&A all week long. Subscribestar.com, $2 a month, premium access. You get to be on here 5 days a week doing live Q&A. But on YouTube, share this address so people can wake the fuck up and realize there are good people out here talking, thinking, listening, learning, and sharing, and making us a more powerful force to be dealt with. The World Economic Forum, the Illuminati, the Bilderbergs, rogue shitball socialist governments, they don't deserve, folks. They don't deserve to be in charge. They don't deserve to be feared. I don't fear these clowns. Nobody should fear them, right? We should fight them. These are our rights, our lives, our countries. And they, folks, are the usurpers. Chance favors the prepared mind on this Toofer Tuesday is yours. Godspeed, Semper Fi.